Hello, everyone. I am Dawn Westmoreland, your host, coming from Asheville, North Carolina, the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains. My show is called The Empowered Whistleblower, where I bring on guests who blow the whistle on strategies that help people become more successful, more resilient, more courageous, help their business. It's all about empowerment. The show airs every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone here in Asheville, North Carolina, because it is syndicated with Pacifica Network. It can be picked up on a different day and different time. So, hello, everyone. Welcome. I have Yermi Kurkus, who is over in the Lake Lure area. It's such a beautiful area. He's back on the show. So delighted to have Yermi. Hello, Yermi.
Thank you so much, Don. It's always an honor and a privilege to be on this show. So thanks for inviting me back here again. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And a little background about Yermi. I learned one thing, even when he was a young little boy, he was out there establishing a lemonade franchise as a young boy. So he knows a lot about business because he's shown over the years, the decades, his experience. So we all know that if you want to be an entrepreneur, there are all kind of strategies out there. And we're going to talk about that with Yermi today because you don't just jump in and just try anything and everything because it may not work out. Why is having a strategy so important, Yermi, when it comes?
Yeah, that's a great thing, and thanks for bringing up my childhood. It's always kind of funny. But yeah, why is it so important? It's simply because, well, a lot of people who go into business, all right. So let's say they have their 9 to 5. Let's say they have their whatever jobs they're doing, but they're not really fulfilled in their jobs, right? And they discover, wow, I really see this world in this kind of way, and I can make money in that kind of way. So let's say in my particular situation, I was working in the prison system before this.
Yeah.
And I said, but I feel that I could really, really help entrepreneurs grow their businesses. So what does that have to do with prison? Not much. But I found more purpose in going out into the world and going out and doing, going and helping entrepreneurs. Now here's where most entrepreneurs get stuck. They really believe, and for the most part they're right, but they really believe that they have this incredible program, incredible system, incredible service, incredible, because they're the ones who are just so close to it. But what is the hard part, what most entrepreneurs, struggle with, is how do I get this in front of people, right? How, like, I think my program is better than sliced cheese, but does everybody else think that way? And or how do I get it? How do I get them to see that?
Yeah.
So that's where strategies come in. Strategies play a critical role of getting it in front of the right people.
Yeah. And one thing I know for sure is that if you aren't making enough money, sometimes you can get audited by the IRS or your state because they think you're doing a hobby. So it's really important to
Mhm.
have strategies down pat. Now, my understanding is you just started a course recently. Let's talk about your course.
Sure, sure. So basically, it's called Business Strategy Mastery, or we call it for short Strategy Mastery. Um, Basically, what it does is that it looks at these early stage entrepreneurs and says, what is the most critical strategies they need to really kick off their business, get that momentum, There's my father-in-law always says this, a business is almost like a 747 taking off,
Ah,
and it just takes a lot of momentum to really take off such a large aircraft. And that's really business. Business takes time, business takes a lot of intention. It takes quite a bit to take off your business. So strategy mastery was born from the question asking, how do we help those entrepreneurs become totally independent from any outside financial, their 9 to 5s, their side hustles, their where could they entirely focus on what they absolutely love, what they absolutely want to do, and do it in such a way that we bring this incredible product in front of the right people who what we call are income producing connections. These are connections that are strategically, you thought this through, you really connected with them, and the outcome of doing business with these individuals will generate income for your business. So the course is all about that.
yeah. Now, you've been out there as a consultant. I know you're doing some training, coaching, some speaking around business and such. What do you find to be the hardest experience people are having right now with entrepreneurship?
Yeah. So it really comes back to these again, these three critical strategies.
Mhm.
What we've discovered, and this is actually something really surprising that we've discovered through our experience. I've been doing this now for just close to 5 years. And
Mhm.
in the entire 5 years, I keep hearing the problem. Oh, we have a cash flow problem. We have a cash flow problem. We have a cash flow problem. For example, in Asheville, I was hired by an agency to save their agency. Their agency was going under, and they believed they had a cash flow problem. Turns out that, and more often than not, it's surprising, it's not a cash flow problem. It's what we've discovered is called a people flow problem. So that's actually what we've discovered through doing this a lot. If you really have a really good product or a really good service, and you just simply can't put it in front of the right people, then you have a people problem. You don't really have a cash flow problem. A cash flow problem is when you mismanage your finances. It's when you have all these sales and you don't know where your money is going. That's a
Mhm.
cash flow problem. But
Gotcha.
if you can't get the product in front of people, that's a people flow problem. And so again, the strategy mastery talks about how to network. That means meeting the right people. When you meet all these people, not everybody is the right income producing connection for you.
Mhm.
So the next step is to really strategically connect with those individuals who will generate income for your business. And then the last component is how to leave such a lasting impact on them that not only are they coming back for more, but they are advocating on behalf of your business. And that's how you get that momentum. And if you do that, often enough, your business should grow.
Yeah, and we've had this discussion before, Yermi, about meaningful relationships.
Mhm.
Networking is not just passing out the card and blasting an email, buy my services. Let's talk about meaningful relationships, building that bonding, trusting relationship with
Mhm.
clients or future clients.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it really boils down to how is that client or, referral partner or collaborator. We have different names for different, categories of income producing connections, but let's use clients because that's, I guess, what is on everybody's mind, okay? So why should a client do business with you? And the simple answer is that they don't really care about your background. They don't care about what you've done. They don't really care. The bottom line is that they care about how is their life going to be impacted or benefit from being around you.
Mhm.
And so we call that, how do I become my client's VIP? And when we say that, what we're actually saying is not, VIP as in very important person. That's kind of a side thing, but VIP is a formula. Value plus impact equals profits. So V for value, I for impact equals profits. So
Mhm.
if you give enough value to somebody and you have such an impact on them, the natural outcome will be business, will be profits. So if you focus entirely just on value and impact, the profits is something you don't even have to worry about. It's just going to happen on its own. And that's again, a big part about having those intentional relationships, focusing on, highlighting your client and making sure that they benefit most out of interacting with you.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yermi, I have a question. When we're on LinkedIn, because you and I are both on LinkedIn, it's a
Mhm.
great resource,
Sure.
great tool, great way to meet people.
Mhm.
But somebody connects with you and say, "Hey, let's have a Zoom chat and get to know each other better." Do you think, from being a business consultant, that every single time somebody asks, "Let's have a coffee chat or a Zoom chat or whatever," that it's necessary to do that, or is it even valuable?
Yeah, that is absolutely. However, I would say word of caution, don't just send a click, a random connection and then say, hey, let's get on Zoom and as wonderful, I'm sure a lot of people have very good intentions, but it's too early in the game. That's what I often say. It's too early in the game.
Mhm.
Um, psychology says
Mhm.
that before I'm ready even to interact with you, I need to have three positive touch points with you. I need to have three positive interactions, soft touches, not like, soft touches. So that could be, comment on a post that somebody posted, interact with them, send them a message highlighting that post. Wow, this is a takeaway I got from it. I really learned this from you, connect with them, build that relationship before you ask for that Zoom call, for that next step. People are not ready to just accept a random connection request, a random jump on a Zoom. People are also busy, just
Mhm.
practically speaking. But people will be way more happier to interact with you when you've already shown interest in who they are and what they do.
Yermi, are you also covering mindset and your thinking in this course that you're offering?
Yeah, that's the last piece. That's the part of leaving a lasting impact.
Mhm.
So people who leave a lasting impact are just, it's a pleasure to be around them. They're nice people. It's fun to be around them. So, people who are internally happy, it's called the work of happiness. People who are internally happy tend to be just more, I would say, abundant with how they are. They give so much more. They smile, they hang out, they're just fun to be around. Versus those who are, you know, not so happy internally. Things are going on in their life or whatever's going on. They tend to leave a negative emotion around them or a negative energy around them, and people pick up on that consciously and sometimes subconsciously. So the last component of leaving a lasting impact talks about how to fill up your cup and to be internally, satisfied and internally happy, so that it doesn't affect how you show up when you're interacting with people.
Mhm. Yeah, so very, very important. When people reach out to you, are they generally just starting in business or are they stuck in business or maybe all of the above?
So there's two categories. My primary industry is real estate. That just tends to be my network, the sphere of influence that I hang around with. So I will get sometimes a real estate agent saying, how could I be better? How could I get more listings? How could I sell more homes?
Mhm.
So they are either early stage in their business, in their real estate career, or they came across a little speed bump, or they want to learn a new skill. So that's typically one category. The second category is, let's say, the entire firm. So I speak a lot to the firm, manager, and the firm manager wants to provide something for their agents, and they provide this training. Recently, we started expanding to sales teams. We started expanding to solo entrepreneurs, because again, that program, the course that we've been working now, it's been 18 months we've been developing it for 18 months now. That has been, we kept in mind that even though we're talking to real estate agents, but there's a customization component to the course, where we really, really work with the individual, where I take 15 minutes or so in the beginning and say, tell me your goals, tell me why are you even taking this course? What's the purpose, right? And then they tell me what it's all about, and then I customize my one-on-ones with them, taking all the theory that they learned on the online component and making it practical to their needs, to what they need to do. And we have lots of examples. We have right now, by now, there's over 15 participants who already went through this course. Everybody almost are different from one another. We have a TEDx speaker all the way down to a telecommunications, company. But again, that customization component really helps them take these lessons and apply it to their business.
Yeah. What do you have to say to the listeners if they want to get into entrepreneurship? Not everybody wants to do the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to trade hours for dollars. And then there's other personal reasons. People want to be their own boss.
Mhm.
Um, what do you say for people who are feeling a little bit anxious or fearful?
Sure. First of all, you have to question yourself of why. Just like, why would you do this? Leaving your 9 to 5 and starting up a business requires more than just 9 to 5.
Mhm.
Sometimes there's 18 hours in a day that you have to work in your business. I mean, depends. You really, really have to look in the mirror and take a really serious look at yourself and say, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And a lot of people talk about start with your why, all that kind of stuff. It is critical to know your mission and your purpose and the vision you have for the world and what is your unique impact that you could give on the world. And that's your unique gift. Nobody could take that away from you, which automatically eliminates competition if you really think about it. There could be another accountant out there, but you're the best accountant because, well, you have a special way of how you deliver your service. And that's where people really need to sit down and discover what does that look like to them, and then learn how to put that in front of, again, the right people. And those people are just going to appreciate you. They're going to love you for what you do. And again, if you have enough value that you give them, enough impact, your business will automatically pick up. But the I would say, if I was to say all that in one word, be absolutely fascinated by what you do. If you don't find fascination, and I use the word fascination intentionally, you have to be fascinated by your business, by your skill, by whatever it is that you're doing, because people will feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that to be so.
Mhm.
Do you work with people to show them how that they can stand out? Let me give you an example, Yermi. Coaches, everybody's out there. I'm a coach, whether they're
Yeah.
certified or not a coach. There's some great coaches out there, not so great coaches. How would you help somebody who's a coach stand out from other
Yeah.
coaches?
Be ready to do what everybody else is not ready to do. That's
Uh,
simple. That's simple, really. And it is part of the course. It is something we talk about. What is your benefit? Why are people getting better? Why are people, it's not enough to just say, oh, people are better off with me because I have the best customer service.
right.
Well, average person, that's what they're saying. So that doesn't fly anymore. You really have to demonstrate, you really have to show, you really have to, it's more than just saying, it's more like walking the walk.
Mhm.
And that's a big part of what we talk about in our course.
So you show them how to stand out
Oh yeah,
from their peers.
sure. Hmm.
Yeah. So very, very important. What is the number one problem that you see that people are getting stuck at in entrepreneurship?
Yeah, clarity.
Clarity. Okay.
Clarity. Yeah, you have to literally see your client, you have to see the experience, you have to have just a very clear vision of what does it look like to put your genius, your program in front of who's this right person. A lot of people say, "Oh, my program is good for everybody." Well, not necessarily. There are some entrepreneurs who love what I have to share, and there's going to be entrepreneurs who think I'm crazy, and that's just what it is. And that's why I say again, like, the primary people who tend to gravitate towards my program are real estate agents, are people in those sales positions where there's so many real estate agents, there's so many accountants, there's so many coaches, there's so many of these people, and they really need to stand out because there's a lot of noise. And so that is, and they're really thinking, another piece is that I focus on legacy mindset. So you're thinking about such an impact that's going to outlive you, in a sense. You're leaving such an impact that most people don't think in this kind of way. And so again, that doesn't talk to everybody because they think for the here and now. I need to make money now. I need to provide for my family, whatever it is. But we are looking for ways to avoid that and really say, let's think long term. Let's think, 5, 10, 20 years from now. Let's think, Michael Jackson. Let's think, Martin Luther King. Let's think Steve Jobs. Let's think big. Let's think, in this kind of way. How are you leaving such an impact that people will remember you way beyond your lifetime?
Do you find that extroverts in this world have an easier time with entrepreneurship than introverts, Yermi?
No, no.
It's a good subject
Actually,
to
actually,
talk
my
about.
favorite, actually, the best participants, as I told you, there's about 15 or so in our course right now. The best ones are actually the introverts. They are the ones who are succeeding the most in the program. I personally am what I think they call it ambivert, like the middle
Yeah.
ground. So I could be extrovert, but I could also be introvert. So again, it really no, I don't think that introvert, extrovert, all that stuff really plays a role.
I'm glad you say that. What is it that's different about the introverts that you're noticing that they're succeeding so well?
So part of the program is talking about how to have strategic conversations with people. One of the things that's going to really make you stand out is the questions you ask your client.
Mhm.
So I tell a lot of times, one of my clients, for example, when he was just starting my course, he said, "Oh, Yermi, I love what you're sharing and everything. I just hate the whole sales process." I said, "Perfect. Stop selling." So literally stop selling, start connecting, and really focus on the connection part and don't focus too much on selling something to somebody. And so through the program, as he, progressed, he learned how to ask the right questions. And through asking those right questions, the natural outcome of their conversation was, "Oh my goodness, where were you my whole life?" And he was now invited to now start his sales presentation. Now he was invited to sell his product. So sales just completely dramatically changed once he learned to ask the right questions.
Hmm. Yeah. Speaking of sales, I just bought a new truck and it was in St. Augustine, Florida. The thing is that where did I get it? St. Augustine, because I was
Mhm.
down there last month. And what I liked about the salesperson, I'll call him salesperson who sold the truck, he never tried to sell me. He created a relationship. And,
Mhm.
because of my background, I was Air Force recruiter and I know a lot about marketing. He built a relationship with me, and I built a relationship with him because I
Mhm.
recognized that I wanted to work with him. And I ended up buying, a
Yeah.
vehicle through him because I knew it wasn't just all about him getting a commission off of, he asked all the right questions,
Mhm.
I let
Yeah.
him know I need this because of this, now I have
Yeah.
my mom living with me and
Mm.
I need four-wheel drive so I can, I live in the mountains and I need to
Yeah.
get, the hills sometimes and I need four-wheel drive. My own
Mhm.
yard is a hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good example, of building that relationship. What do you hope, Yermi, that the folks get out of your course of working with you?
To dramatically reduce their stress.
Ah,
That's number one, because everybody hates the dreaded S word, sales. Everybody hates that sales. Everybody feels that they're terrible at sales. Well, here's a way, because guess what? I was terrible at sales, and I've been in business since I was, in diapers practically. But I hate sales. That's straight up. And so I stopped selling, and I really started really focusing on people and what is it their needs and is there anything that I could provide that will benefit their life? And when you focus on that, that helps reduce the stress, better streamline your business, get that momentum so it's now seamless almost, making money is almost becoming seamless. And the bottom line is really this idea that you don't have to resent the path to success. A lot of people think that success requires a lot of sacrifice and hard work and the hustle and all the doggy dog and all the negativity that's around it. It really doesn't have to be that way, and you could have a much better life just doing it in another way. And I'm not saying that my way is the best way. I'm just saying that my way is another way. If you went through all this and this is all really taking you down, I encourage you to at least explore another avenue, another way of doing business. And that could be this course.
yeah. And I love the fact that we talked about stress because there is a lot of stress out there. I mean, every time you go to fill up your tank of gas, get a gas, you go to the grocery store, you don't even have
Sure.
a bag of groceries and it's probably over $50. It's just like people
Mhm.
have to be smart with strategies these
Sure.
days.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about how do we get a hold of you, Yermi? If somebody says, "Hey, I'd like to find out more about working with you, about your course,
Mhm.
future courses, just stay in touch." What are some of the best ways to reach out to you?
So the easiest way is my website. So yermikurkus.com. So that's YERMIKURKUS.com. Over there, there's a lot of options. There's the resource section. People could check it out, whatever works best for them. And they could always feel welcome to email me or contact me, and we could have just that discussion. I want to learn more about their business and what are their struggles, and see if any one of our programs are a fit for them.
That's amazing. Yes, yes, yes. Because nobody should have to struggle. I'm so glad that you have this course that you're offering, that you're out there helping people. So what is your ideal client, Jeremy? Because I know not everybody is.
Mhm. Yeah. So my background is in leadership. That's my background. That's my education. I'm working towards a doctorate in the field of legacy leadership. And legacy leadership basically just says, what is an impact that I could have in the world, in my surroundings, that's gonna be memorable beyond, the days of my life, in a sense. So people who relate to that message, who really, really want to make an impact on the world, or even just on their immediate surroundings, on their family, on their, neighborhood or whatever it is. These are my ideal clients. These are the people who really, really take to what it is that we teach and what it is that we do, and that's what we're all about here.
Mhm. And when somebody's trying to pick I'm going to say mentor, coach,
Mhm.
consultant, very close, synonym, what is the ideal person for them? How do they find the right
Mhm.
person? How do they know that they need to go to you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't have the answer to that. I honestly don't. My mentor has demonstrated to me some like he really showed me that he really cared for me.
Mm,
Even before becoming my mentor, he actually went on a limb. He really, like, wow, and he left such a wow impact on me. And I was like, I'm an idiot if I don't become this guy's mentee. So it's really, really when you feel that this person really cares about you, and this person truly, truly demonstrates that they want your success. Their success depends on your success, in a sense. That's the right mentor for you, and you'll automatically know it. You'll just feel it. You'll know it.
yeah. And I'm just curious. I had to fire a client once because they were just disrespectful, rude, and did not want to follow my instructions. And I'm always
Mhm.
upfront, about my expectations. When somebody begins to work with you, do they know exactly where they stand with you, what to expect? And
100%.
that way that it's a good fit. It's a win-win for both of you.
Oh, 100%. Yes, 100%. We have depends on the level of the program that they buy. The current program, Strategy Mastery, for example, is all living on a platform, on an online platform, and it's all there. It's laid out. There's a map, there's a roadmap, there's what you're going to get out of it. We have an email challenge that goes out. That email challenge has action steps. We hold ourselves just as accountable. We're not just selling a program and goodbye and have a nice day,
Yeah.
just for the sake of selling. We truly, truly stand behind, we really want to see, people successful. And we do pick and choose our clients. If we don't like who we're working with, we don't work with them. It is the honest truth. I will return money back if I feel it's not the right fit. Absolutely.
And yeah, I'm glad we discussed that.
Mhm.
So very, very important
Sure.
because it has to be a win-win for both people. Jeremy,
Sure.
it's such a delight to connect with you, to
Pleasure.
interview you, and I wish you all the best. Everyone,
Thank you.
check out Yermi Kurkus on LinkedIn, his course, what he's offering. and also stay empowered. If there's anything that I can do, reach out to me. If I can't help you, I will refer you to the right folks. Till next time, stay empowered and always be courageous in everything you do.